This is my analysis and presentation for Assignment 7 in DMC 460. My presentation will incorporate visual elements to enhance the data I present, and it will cover the following points: a clear explanation of my request, relevant trends and data regarding my target audience, data that supports my recommendation to target this demographic and that I have a strategy for reaching them, a profile that represents our new market, an outline of the communication channels I plan to use. Another point I will cover are the metrics I will monitor to assess and optimize the results, and I will give a financial summary that demonstrates how long it will take to recoup the requested $1 million. And finally, I will discuss next steps for Gateway Furniture. So, as a background, I'm stepping into the position of marketing director for Gateway Furniture, a regional chain of furniture and home decor stores headquartered in St. Louis and in 56 locations in the Midwest and Southeast. Gateway Furniture has achieved significant success by focusing on consumers who are aged 40 and older, and it utilizes a media strategy that relies heavily on traditional channels like TV, radio, and newspaper advertisements. Through my research, I've discovered an opportunity to engage consumers in the 25 to 39-year-old age bracket, which represents a growing and potentially profitable market for the company. My objective is to persuade my boss, who is the company president, to support an incremental marketing campaign aimed at younger consumers. I'm requesting $1 million, which would represent a 5% increase in my overall marketing budget of $20 million. I need to consider that my boss tends to be risk averse. Okay, let's begin my presentation to the Gateway CEO. The agenda for this presentation will focus on the opportunity and how Gateway can use data-driven marketing to minimize risk and maximize return on a marketing investment. I'm asking for $1 million for a marketing campaign that will target the 25 to 39-year-old age segment. The opportunity is that this investment has the potential to expand our market share by 68% and secure the next generation of affluent customers. And it'll be mitigating the long-term business risks of our aging customer base, shrinking market share, and competitor analysis of IKEA, Wayfair, West Elm, and Article that shows that they are all successfully targeting this younger demographic. The solution for Gateway is to target this same 25 to 39-year-old age segment. I will present data showing that the market potential for this 25 to 39-year-old age segment is $18 billion, and this is a 40% increase in the size of the current market that we operate in. We have the data to provide purchasing behavior insights into this target audience. In the campaign strategy slides, I will break down how I will use the $1 million and how I will manage the associated risk. I will also go over the payback analysis, and in that I will review a table with straightforward calculations showing when the company can expect to recoup its $1 million investment, and finally, we'll go over next steps. So the opportunity is to engage a growing segment of home buyers in the Midwest and Southeast. This segment is entering the family life stage, buying homes, upgrading furniture, starting families. They are open to digital engagement and social media influence. And as the slide shows, this action can, in the long term, increase our sales by $160 million. Let's go over this opportunity to see where we get the 160 million. We'll start with the southern region. The census reporter gives data that we can use to extrapolate the number of households we have in the South region for each segment. We derive it from the total number of households in the South region and from the percentage of population for each age group. From that, we can extrapolate the percentage of households in each of the age segments. Multiplying the percentage of householders for each segment by the total number of households in the South region, we get the number of households for each segment. Next, we need to know the average spend for each age segment for furniture. Home Furnishings Business gives us this data, and it is in the furniture average annual spend column. Multiplying the average annual spend per household column by the number of households gives us the total annual spend by age segment for the South region. This is split into two columns, one for the new segment, which is on the left of the total annual spending column, and one for the existing segment, which is on the right. We sum these columns, and the total annual spend for the new segment in the South is $11.7 billion. And the total spend for our existing segment is $28.7 billion. In the Midwest, we perform the same calculations, except we use the census reporter for the Midwest region. We end up with $6.3 billion in total annual spending for furniture in the new market segment, and 16.1 in the market segments we are currently targeting. Looking in total, by pursuing the 25 to 39-year-old age segment, we have the opportunity of increasing our sales by $160 million. Let's go to the derivation of this pretty significant increase. The table up top shows the calculations for the South and Midwest regions and totals them. We are looking at an increase total annual spend of $62.9 billion, up from the current market we're in of $44.9 billion. So by going after these additional age segments, we are going to have an increase in our potential market of 40.22%. So as an assignment exercise, I need to estimate the total sales by Gateway, and McMahon gives us a statistic that we can use. Marketing budget averages about 5% of the total revenue. Since our marketing budget is $20 million, that gives us 20 million divided by 5%, or 400 million in sales. A 40.22% increase in sales on a base of 400 million is 161 million in sales. We're requesting $1 million increment to our current marketing budget of 20 million. This is a 5% increase in marketing expense, and the money would be spent on targeted digital campaigns in social media, enlisting influencers in the furniture and home furnishing space on social media, and on search engine advertising. In addition, we would enhance our current website by including a furniture visualization tool. This tool will allow online researchers to see how furniture looks in different home settings, so they have an idea how it will integrate into their homes. Each mini campaign in the social media will be tracked by key performance indicators so we can move away from media approaches that are not helping us to those that are. And Jeffrey notes that this is a key to successful marketing campaigns. So, for their purchasing behavior, we have to consider that the 25 to 39-year-old age segment has grown up in the era of social media, making social advertisements an excellent way to connect with these users. It's essential to integrate social media into every stage of the shopping journey, from links to branded communities to photo albums on platforms like Facebook. Pinterest and Instagram are among the leading social media channels, making them natural choices for engagement. Influencers have a significant impact on how millennial consumers shop for furniture. In addition, millennial consumers assume that retailers understand their preferences and interests. According to a recent survey, 78% of these consumers are more inclined to become repeat customers when a retailer offers them targeted, personalized promotions. For furniture and home accessories, women are the sole decision makers 54% of the time, and men and women make joint decisions 27% of the time. That means that women are involved in 81% of the furniture purchase decisions. The most effective incentives for millennials include customer service, personalized promotions, and discounts. With 83% of these shoppers, they indicate that coupons influence their buying decisions. Brands are increasingly rewarding social interactions such as posting, checking in, and sharing. It's crucial that any marketing campaign we conduct be mobile compatible. Otherwise, we risk missing out on this key demographic. According to Russell, sofas and sectionals, decorative accessories, area rugs, and mattresses are the products of most interest to young millennials, and that's what we'll concentrate on in our particular campaigns. Standalone pieces are their major buys because they align with their budgets and provide flexibility to seek out higher quality furnishings. Although sustainability is an important consideration, aesthetics continues to play a major role in furniture preferences for millennials. This generation is drawn to modern designs that seamlessly combine style and functionality. Minimalism, defined by clean lines and an absence of excessive decoration, is what they favor. So it's important to have a good idea who we are talking to, because the purpose of our marketing campaign is to motivate them to purchase furniture from Gateway. Makia notes that recency, frequency, and monetary spend is used on our existing customer base. Teller notes that with lookalike marketing, we find existing customers that are most like the new segment and use their persona as a starting point. A caveat with this campaign is that we are talking to a very new customer. In other words, customers we currently do not service. And these may be customers who do not appreciate the furniture that we currently offer older, more affluent customers. And likewise, they may use very different media channels. So using lookalike modeling or RFM may not be appropriate for this new market. Han tells us that creating a customer profile can enhance our understanding of the target market. She says we can create the profile by collecting information about our new customers. By creating a profile, Gateway can customize its marketing strategies and provide more personalized experiences. So let's look at some of the characteristics of our 25 to 39-year-old market. The decision makers for furniture purchases are women. So going forward, we will use these statistics for women. For income in our age group, we see the yearly income is between $57,000 and $64,000. The most common occupation for women in the labor force are registered nurses, teachers, and managers. As of today, 47% of women aged 25 to 34 hold a bachelor's degree. And for women, the percentage of those who are married peaks between the ages of 32 and 44 at 72%. So we've collected purchasing behavior and motivation data and demographic data. We can use all this profiling data to create a buyer profile. And Erica Thompson is a recap of the research we just presented. So here's the vision statement for our campaign. Why are we starting this marketing campaign? To expand our market to include the 25 to 39-year-old age segment. Who are we talking to? A married woman, college graduate, working as a manager, making $60,000 a year. She relies heavily on social media and websites to do research, and her motivations are wellness, aesthetics, and sustainability. What does she currently think? She thinks Gateway Furniture is traditional and for older, affluent customers. What would we like her to think? Gateway has a modern line of furniture that's perfectly suited to her taste. What is the single most persuasive idea we can convey? Our modern line of furniture has clean lines, supports sustainability and wellness. And why should she believe it? The certifications that we meet standards for sustainability, wellness, and quality. So, at this point in the U.S. market, in the past, the largest segment of by age was the baby boomers, and it's now been surpassed, and the current largest segment is millennials. So we must add a modern line of furniture to our traditional offerings to meet this largest segment in the market by age. Private labeling involves selling a product made by another company under our brand name. Retailers like us frequently utilize private label purchases of products to broaden their product lineup. We can use Alibaba to find manufacturers for private label agreements. 60% of U.S. furniture brands now source through private label agreements. Costa is an example of such a furniture private label manufacturer that we can find on Alibaba, but there's many others. So with Costa, we have a very fast time to market. We can get this set up in as little as 3 weeks if we use their existing lines of modern furniture. Again, this is what appeals to millennials. We typically get everything set up in up to 5 weeks if we want to design our own furniture line and we give them the CAD drawings. With Costa, we'll probably get higher gross margins. Their product lineups generally provide a 40% improvement in margin compared to in-house. They also have lower return and defect rates, a reduction of up to 50% in returns, and that will improve the customer satisfaction and the quality that is demanded by millennials. So with Costa, we can fit into the sustainability and wellness of the millennial buyers. We can set up agreements with a private label manufacturer like Costa that does meet those sustainability, safety, and wellness standards and make that part of our marketing campaign. Here's the certifications that Costa will present. The California Air Resources Board that sets strict limits on formaldehyde emissions for furniture. The Forest Stewardship Council, FSC, that confirms that the wood materials are responsibly sourced from sustainably managed forest. The Business and Institutional Furniture Manufacturers Association sets safety standards. And we'll advertise these certifications showing our new line of furniture is consistent with their needs for wellness, quality, and sustainability. Our media plan will be an omni-channel media campaign that includes in-store as well. It'll be a seamless blend of online and offline experiences, and this is vital as most millennials prefer to touch and see the furniture in person before buying. Email, social media, and websites are the media channels that we will use as platforms to communicate and transmit our information, content, and messages. Our website will become the central hub for content distribution, brand visibility, and consumer interaction. Social media will encompass platforms like Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube, and we'll use search engines like Google for search engine marketing, where we'll pay to display ads aimed at our 25 to 39-year-old furniture buyers. For our website, we'll create a collection of web pages within the Gateway website that are dedicated to our target segment. In this, we'll have a furniture visualization tool that will let Erica put the furniture in various living spaces so she can get an idea of how the furniture will look in her home. And we'll, of course, emphasize wellness and sustainability and safety certifications that we just discussed. Our content strategy will include how-to guides, educational resources, blog highlights, and user-generated content that features photographs and testimonials from real customers. The metrics we'll monitor are visits, and that refers to the total number of times visitors access a website, bounce rate, which is the percentage of visits that conclude after only one page, and then time on site. For social media, we'll precisely target platforms such as Instagram, Pinterest, Facebook, and TikTok to connect with users interested in home decor, interior design, small space living, and sustainable products. We'll share aspirational lifestyle images and videos that demonstrate how furniture integrates into the modern home. And for community engagement, we'll create a personalized experience by engaging the users through polls, question and answers, and live video sessions. Some of the key metrics we'll be watching are post reach, which refers to the number of users who have viewed a post. Engagement rate is the percentage of our audience that interacts with a post, typically with likes, shares, and comments. And then conversion rate is the percentage of our audience that clicks on a post and completes a desired action, such as registering or purchasing. For email, the key strategies involve leveraging mobile optimization, visual storytelling, and behavior-based content that aligns with millennial values and lifestyle. We'll highlight our commitment to sustainable manufacturing, wellness. We'll have clear call to actions and compelling subject lines. Metrics will monitor our click-through rate, and that's calculated by dividing total impressions by the number of click-throughs. Open rate, and that refers to the percentage of recipients who open an email from their inbox. And unsubscribe rate that's the percentage of our email that opts out of future mailings. For our search engine, millennials begin their buying journey with a search typically. So we're going to target long tail keywords, and by this I mean we'll concentrate on search terms such as space-saving furniture for apartments, eco-friendly desks, mid-century modern consoles, things like that. We'll prioritize our search engine optimization, um, and the media content must be optimized for mobile devices since 90% of millennials own smartphones and frequently research products while they're on the move. We'll also manage review sites because a solid reputation is essential with them. Metrics include the click-through rate as we just discussed. Cost per click refers to the total cost of an advertisement divided by the number of clicks it receives. Cost per transaction is calculated by dividing total advertising costs by the number of transactions made. And invalid traffic represents the percentage of impressions that are designed to artificially increase an advertiser's expenses. So here we summarize the purchasing behavior research we just went over. Our brand is what comes to mind when people hear Gateway. It represents our current reputation and the associations people have with our business. In contrast, a subsidiary brand is an offshoot of a main brand featuring its own distinct identity, name, and market positioning. There's several situations in which developing a subsidiary brand might be right for us. First, when we want to target a new market, and second, when we want to launch a new product line. And of course, we check both those boxes. So we're going to look at developing a subsidiary brand as part of this overall campaign. Here's our journey map, and this roadmap shows the sequence of customer actions that leads from awareness through purchase to long-term value, and the actions we plan to take to make sure the customer gets through each gate to ultimately become an advocate for Gateway Furniture. Our budget is $1 million for launching a new subsidiary brand aimed at millennials. And it should be distributed among essential activities such as brand development, website creation, supply chain setup, and a robust social media campaign. We see the budget here, and even with the upfront cost that lay the foundation for future campaigns for this lucrative segment, we still have the potential of spending $450,000 in actual campaign advertising, $250,000 in social media ads, $80,000 in influencer endorsement, $60,000 in search engine ads, and $10,000 in email leads. Here we apply metrics to estimate payback when we can recoup this $1 million in outlay. I'm going to use a standard metric on social media ad campaigns to estimate sales, and that is return on ad spend, ROAS. And that's recommended as a metric by the MBTN Academy. And according to Ferris and Chen in the MBTN module on web metrics, ROAS is amount of new sales divided by new ad spend, or using algebra, estimated new sales equals ROAS times new ad spend. Veros tells us that ROAS on furniture ads is 4.67. So with our budget of $450,000 for direct spending on advertising, estimated sales for the campaign will be $450,000 times 4.67, or $2,101,000. The profit margin in the furniture industry is 45%. So 45% times 2,100,000 is $945,000. And the campaign cost is 1 million, so payback is 1 million divided by 945,000, or roughly 12 months. I use payback because 1 million is from our current liquidity And when liquidity becomes a concern, payback is an important metric. So to finish up, here are our next steps. We need to set up our marketing database, establish agreements, private label, professional marketing, and Amazon storefront, develop our website, identify influencers, identify keywords, get our physical stores ready to display the lineup, and I'll finish by summarizing the risk of inaction. In other words, not pursuing this opportunity is missing $160 million in added revenue. Thank you.